Greetings, Scott Blair, Chief Diversity Officer at Northampton Community College, and welcome to our first NCC Diversity Minute. In many of the conversations I have had with members of our community, whether it's with students, with faculty, with staff, we often talk about these four items here in defining the work and understanding the opportunities that we have in front of us of advancing inclusion on campus. Let's take a minute to explore each of these terms independently. First, it's diversity, okay? And when I speak with students in the classroom, faculty, when I have that opportunity to do that, I often start with this one first, because diversity we all have. And diversity, briefly, is variety. Now, often when we think about diversity, we're talking about race, we're talking about ethnicity, we're talking about gender. And sometimes, because of all of the backstory to those terms, we sometimes have a defense mechanism that comes up whenever we hear this term. Okay, but it's important that we understand that we all have diversity in us. Okay, again, it's that variance. It's our life experiences and all those different things that come with it. Now, of course, some pieces of our diversity background may give us some privilege more than others. And that's another conversation for another session, right? But it's important to understand that we all have that variance and we have that diversity. Now, of course, we want to come to creating a space that is welcoming to such backgrounds that may be underrepresented, right? But it's important that, again, that we start with that basic premise that we all have that variety in our community. Now, inclusion is that next term. And inclusion, I would say, is an action, okay? It's an action. And really, it all starts with engagement, okay? Diversity is a noun, okay? It describes who we are. But inclusion is a verb. It's an action. It's our intentionality of engaging in that variety that we have in our community. Whether it's looking at things such as sustainability, creating sustainable systems, okay, looking at designing more inclusive spaces in our education, okay, if we are able to connect with all of those different experiences that we have from all the different places that we are from, think about the solutions we might be able to come up with to some of those big world problems, okay? And it's that intentionality that really sets apart the difference between inclusion and diversity. And a lot of the work has been talking about strategies to do that in the classroom, in our working with each other as colleagues. What can we do to be inclusive as a campus? The last terms would be equity and equality. And it's one that often has a lot of questions. Scott, aren't they the same? Well, technically they're not, okay? Equality obviously means equal, okay? So in the spirit of this work, we sometimes will bring up the example of equality is giving everyone the same size shoe. But not everyone needs the same size shoe, right? Equity is understanding that we all have different needs, so I want to give you a shoe, but I want to give you a shoe that fits. And there's a difference there. And we all understand that in the work that we do. Again, working with students in the classroom, each of us have different strengths, different weaknesses, and again, there's an intentionality in ensuring that we find out what those needs are and support you where you are, okay? There's a little bit of a taste of what the difference is between equity and equality. And in the work of diversity and inclusion, it is so important to have a basic understanding of what these core terms are. Because once we have that basic understanding, we can then move into discussions again about privilege, about the advantages that might be there in society and all the different systems around us. But that's a deeper dive. We have to build a foundation first. Thank you for spending a moment to talk with me about that. Have a great day.